What's up, squad? Coming at you with our core behavior of the week. This is a little bit late. I'm trying to get these out on Mondays. Hopefully this Monday will be on time. But the core behavior this week, we're on our third core behavior. It is find ways to do your job better. And in reflecting on this idea, there's kind of two angles that you can take on this. One is innovation and innovating and finding ways to do your job better. And the other way is just to actually just to improve the performance in your day-to-day job. And I think that, for anybody that's new, and what I mean by new is probably been doing whatever your job is for probably less than a year, you probably don't want to be innovating a whole lot, just because there's probably still so much of the job and of the trade that you don't even know, that the real focus would be on just learning your job more. And studying and learning from people within the company, learning from people outside the company, before you really start trying to innovate and do things super differently, just because you might be kind of spinning your wheels and wasting some time. So, on the topic of just doing your job better, not innovation, but just finding ways to do your job better, there's really good information out there. I found a really good blog with 13 tips. I'll just go through these really quickly. The first one is limiting distractions. Right, again, if you're distracted all the time and you're kind of starting and stopping, then it's going to be really hard to do your job at a very high level. Remember that to get into a flow state, which is, this place of peak performance, the place where, time kind of dilates, you lose sense of time, and you kind of get in the flow of things, and it feels like you're in a time warp and you're just kind of acting. It takes an intense focus on whatever you're doing. So to limit distractions means that you're keeping yourself away from being distracted and trying to do multitasking, which has been proven does not work, and being able to focus on whatever it is that you're doing. So that's the first one. The second one, set milestones, set targets for what you're trying to do. If you can do a task in let's just say an hour, see if you can get it done in 55 minutes the next time. That could be a fun way to gamify what you're doing. If you can go out and get an appointment every hour, see if you can get an appointment every 45 minutes or every 50 minutes. Like, play little games with yourself to see if you can set milestones for yourself. The third one, set clear and achievable goals. So kind of tied to the same thing with milestones, but if you have a clear goal and it's achievable, it's not so far out there, then that can create some internal motivation to drive you to actually want to do it and to hit it. The fourth one, which I already mentioned, was to avoid multitasking. And again, that's just about the starting and stopping. Again, it doesn't work. Your distraction, like we're not supercomputers as human beings. I mean, we do have really complex brains, but it's just been shown over and over and over that multitasking does not actually work. And you're probably going to miss things. You're going to miss steps if you're trying to think about too many things at once. Number 5, improve your time management. So this is really, really important. I see that I fail at this a lot. I know I see a lot of people fail at this, but they don't have a good sense of their time management. They don't have a good plan for their day. They don't have a really good schedule. And so if you can set up a good schedule for yourself, then you could get a better idea of what can and can't you commit to during a day and what can and can't you fit in for your day. Number 6, do important tasks first. One of the best tips I ever learned was to write down 3 to 5 critical tasks that you were going to do for the day. And these are the most important things that you got to get done no matter what. No matter what else happened, no matter who comes through the door, no matter what crazy thing happens, these are the tasks that are going to get done. And by planning around these critical tasks, like it might be, I have to get 5 hours on the doors, let's just say, right? Okay, or I must get this task done today, whatever this task is. By planning your day in advance and looking at that all day long as meetings pop up and people barge into your office, your phone starts ringing and something's going on, you can always keep the main things the main things. Number 7, delegate tasks where possible. So if you're not the best person to do it, if it's somebody else is a better person to do it and it's kind of more within their wheelhouse, delegating to them is a great thing to do. I often see this, often thinking about maybe, even just around the house. Like, for example, some of you guys might have to do everything yourself. But some of you guys might actually, your hourly rate is more than the hourly rate, let's just say, for somebody to come pull weeds at your house. You know what I mean? Let's just say your hourly rate, that what you make in your time, let's just say it's $20, right? And you can find somebody to do it for $10 an hour. It's a better use of your time to pay somebody $10 an hour to pull your weeds, assuming that you could do productive tasks that are worth $20 or more than having to do that task yourself. So delegate whatever is possible. Find people that are better skilled at doing certain types of tasks. I mean, obviously, unless it's within your job skill set. Number 8, the other one I'm really guilty of, clear your workspace. Cluttered desk can be a distraction. It's surprising when you just clear your desk, clean your house, clean your room, when you just have things in order, how you don't get so distracted by all the crap that's going around in your desk, in your life, in your car, whatever it is. Number 10, communicate clearly. So this is really, really big. If you're working on something, if you're struggling, if you're needing help, and you're not communicating that, you can spend lots of time wasted not really getting any traction because you're not saying anything. You're not telling people what's going on, especially people that can help you, whether it's your manager, your boss's boss, whoever it is. But to communicate whenever you're having a challenge or something's really working really well, maybe just passing that feedback down the line. Number 11, really solid, take short breaks. There's a technique, and I can't remember off the top of my head. If somebody remembers, drop that in the comment. But it's a style of doing intense focus work and then taking short breaks every time. I think the rule was like maybe 45 minutes at a time, like 45, 50 minutes where you're going like gung-ho and then taking a short 5-minute break. But what do most of us do? We're kind of focused, but we're also on Instagram, we're checking text messages, we're answering phone calls, then we're kind of getting back into the work. Way better to have a really firm structure. Okay, I'm gonna focus on this task for 45, 50 minutes. I'm gonna take a short 5 to 10 minute break after that. And you work in these spurts and you actually find that you're way more productive because you got really serious attention on whatever it is that you're doing. Number 12, prioritize self-improvement. That's kind of the point of this whole thing, right? If nobody's gonna work on yourself for you. Nobody can do that, right? And so if you're not prioritizing self-improvement, nobody else is. Sorry. And there's a saying, I think it's Jim Rohn, that said the person who works harder on himself than he works on his job will find that it's something to the effect that he will make more than he makes it. I butchered this saying. I'll find the quote and I'll drop it in the link. But the idea is that if you continually work on yourself, right, your skill set, your responsibilities, your earning potential is going to increase way faster than the person who is not. So butchered that quote. There's a quote. I'll find it. I'll drop it in the link. And then 13, maintain work-life balance. So this is an interesting one, right? Because, how do you be super intense and then also maintain work-life balance? I think the key here is you have to prioritize and you have to put things in their compartments, right? When it's time to work, it's time to work. Don't get distracted, right? Focus on what you're trying to do. When it's not time to go home and it's time to, to be with the family, time to play softball, time to play Xbox, whatever it is that you do for leisure, then do that. But don't mix them as best you can. Try not to mix them. And then I think that's the best way that you can maintain work-life balance, because if you don't, if you're one of these people that like overworks themselves, you'll soon find yourself burning out. You'll soon find all your relationships that are neglected are going to start stressing you out because you haven't actually been giving them the attention that they deserve. And so it's really critical, if you can learn to focus, right? Not only can you focus at your job, but then you can focus at home or focus with your friends or whenever, and don't be bringing all the bad stuff to work and all the work to the bad stuff or with your family, right? Don't be bringing work to your family. Don't be bringing your family to work. Same kind of thing, right? Back when I was when I first started kickboxing, I was part of this karate school. It was where it was a karate school in one half and then it was kickboxing in the other half. And one of the things that we would do when you'd walk in, you'd say, one of the things that we had to do was you'd walk in and you'd say your first and last name. So I'd say, Nestor Tarango, in-state asa. And the idea was you're saying in-state, so I'm in the state of mind, to here to train, and then asa is like, I don't know. I don't even know what it means. I think it's like hell yeah, or like let's go, like let's train, or like you know, it's like a karate term. But the idea was really cool because the principle is that you're leaving the baggage out the door, right? And go in state. I'm in the state of mind. Asa, let's roll. So those are some quick tips. This is a 10-minute video. Wasn't intending for it to be that long, but how you can find ways to do your job better. Hope you guys got some value out of this, and you guys crush it. Talk to you soon.